Welcome back. We have seen dealing with NDK methods is not that easy, but we also do not have to do this. There's always this easy approach, hooking the method on the Java side. Then we have easy access to the parameters and also the return value. Nevertheless, let's finish this exercise over here. Let's have a look how we could have manipulated those parameters and also the return value. See this as some kind of preparation for our last challenge. The last challenge will be about a function or a method that is only available in the C++ world. So we do not have access within our Java code, and we also cannot influence parameters or return values. Unfortunately, this challenge will be once again a little bit different from the things we are seeing over here. After going through this one over here, it won't be that hard anymore. Therefore, let's have a look into this one. Okay, so here we are back at our Ubuntu VM, and first let's start our Frida server. So we make our connection to our device, we get root privileges, and then within data local temp, we start the server. Alright, now let's get also back the smartphone screen over here. And there we have it. And we are still talking about this application. Which one? This one, a Frida NDK. Okay, if we hit crypt, yes, it's still working. Everything has been set up so far. Okay, in the last video we have done the following. I've still got it open over here. Yes, there we have it. So we have hooked these parameters on the NDK side. These are our arguments, and yeah, we have seen how we can hook them. We have to create a new string, and then we can typecast it, this argument to in string. And regarding to our integer value, we have to use the function toInt32. Alright, I see right now we haven't done this for the return value. So maybe let's do this over here real quick. Let's first see if this script is working over here. So I copy this, then we are using frida-u com app hacking ndk frida. Yes, so now we are attached to this process. I make this a little bit larger and I put this on the left. Okay, so now let's see. I paste it in, and if we hit crypt, yes, then we can see this is our text, this is our parameter, this is the amount of rounds, and here we're having this strange value hex 75. Alright, if you also want to print out the return value as a string, this one, we have to do exactly the same. And let's go back into the script. Okay, so what we need to do is, and let's comment this over here, and getting the string class reference. And then we have to typecast it red to string. Okay. Okay, so let's see. First, let's get the string class reference over here. So string class ref, and this can be done with java.use. This is the class we want to use for typecasting later. So java lang string. Semicolon is missing. Okay, and now we need to typecast it. So we need to create a new instance, a string in, or let's call it red instance or return value instance. Okay, and now we need to use java.cast. Then we've got our pointer, which is red, and we want to typecast it to this string class ref. All right, and now we can use this one over here. This should work. Let's see. I copy this, go back into this one, and we have also seen it's not a good idea to overwrite with interceptor attach scripts. So scripts that are using interceptor attach, if you keep overwriting them, then we will end up in a mess. Therefore, we close this, and we're using frida-u-f to launch this application. And we do not want to resume automatically. Sorry, we do not want to resume manually. Therefore, we are doing it automatically with the no pause. All right, let's do this. Now I paste it in, and let's see. Yes, perfect. And so here we can see, all right, this is our return value, the string that's being returned. Nice. Let's have a look back. Okay, this is now our final script. I save this. Okay, so the next thing we want to make is manipulating these values. And for example, this argument over here, or let's say this integer value over here, or maybe also the return value. But therefore, we are starting with a new script. I mean, Modifying this one would be very convenient right now, but we haven't that much practice regarding to our interceptor attach. Therefore, I would like to keep it practicing. So this is the reason why I would like to start a new script. Okay, because then we can also recap everything we need to know about this one. Let's switch to JavaScript. All right, and this time we are doing this a little bit faster than the last time. So let's see. We want to hook the method decrypt string, and this one has a string PW, and an integer round. And this is located in the libnative-lib_so. Okay, so the first step is we need to get the address of this function. This can be done with module enumerate exports. And then we need our interceptor dot attach on this address, and here we're having our callbacks. All right, let's do this. So let's bring up our Frida terminal over here. Okay, let's do it on the Frida terminal, and if it works there, then we copy paste the command to the left. So module dot enumerate exports. Here we have it. This one has a parameter which is the name of the library we are looking for those exports. This is libnative-lib_so. So we have get this name out of the JDX GUI output. So we have reverse engineered this application and have seen this has a lib directory, and within this lib directory we've got this library. Okay, let's see if this one works. Yes, perfect. So this is our method. We copy this. And then let's see. Okay, this is part 1. This one over here is returning an array. So we need to create a new array. This is our export function array. And now we need to find the, let's see, the address. And this one is returning in, whoops. Okay, so if we are using this one, then we've got this export function array, and here we're having, for example, element 0, and then we can access the address or the name via this field. So this is our first entry, the name. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to iterate over this array, this one over here. We can do this with a for each. We're providing an anonymous function, and we're having an element over here. Okay, and now if element.name, lowercase. So this one over here is now our element, and we can access this name, in this way over here. Okay, if element.name, and in JavaScript it's not contains, it is includes, I guess. Yes, so I'm really struggling remembering this one over here. So yeah, if you want to search for a tag on string in our name, then we have to use includes. So we are looking for a string decrypt. If this is the case, we want to print it out. So we want to have console log, then we've got element name equals element name. And here we are printing out element.address is equals, oops, sorry, what happens? Put this on the right, is equals element.address. And let's see if this works. No, because I made a typo. Yes, element. Okay. This is why I like to write my scripts on the right in a Frida terminal and then applying it to the left to a real script. Then we've got also the syntax highlighting and things like this. Okay. It seems to work, but the function name is different. Oh, it's decrypt string, sorry. Now I hope we're good to go. Yes, okay, there we go. Here's our element address, nice. So now we can create a new variable. What's the function name? Decrypt string address. Okay, and now we are assigning this one over here. Element.address, and now we can use this within our interceptor.attach. So interceptor dot attach. Yes, looks good. So here's our decrypt string address, and here we're having our callbacks. I put the mouse on the right and I make this a little bit larger. Okay. So callbacks, simply double click, and then curly brackets and enter. The first one is on enter, anonymous function. We're having here our args, that's an array. Okay, and here we're having our on leave function. We are also having a return value, and that's it. Maybe just some debug statements. We are in decrypt string decrypt string function right now, and here we're printing out send, and we are leaving a decrypt string function right now. Also those semicolons. All right, let's see if this works. So we copy paste all of this. And yeah, I mentioned overwriting it once again. It's not a good idea, but yeah, if it fails, we will restart this application. Otherwise, let's stick to this one for now. So let's see, we hit the decrypt button, and yes, we've got a bunch of output. Yes, we can see, okay, it's not a good idea because these are regarding to our first approach of the script. All right, I put this on the left and this one on the right, and then we are restarting this application. Okay, and now let's copy paste this once more. Okay, we hit crypt. There we have it. We are in the decrypt string right now, and this one. Yes, I guess the English or the grammar is not that good. Okay, so now we are good to go. Okay, so here we have now the script, and this is how we can hook an NDK function. I would like to keep practicing this approach at this point right now, because these steps are always the same. We need to identify the address. We can do this with module enumerate exports, and then we need to attach to this one and define our two callbacks. We hadn't that much of a practice regarding to this one over here, therefore I'm repeating it. Alrighty? Okay. But now we want to modify them. So let's see. Our args, where do we have them? Here we have them. So this args is an array. And our first parameter is our string pw, and this one is args2. Because args0 is regarding to the chain I environment function pointer, and args1, so the second parameter in our NDK function, is regarding to the this object. Therefore, our first parameter in here, this one over here, string pw, will start at args2. This means our integer round and round will be args3. Okay, nice. Now, if you want to modify the integer value, let's start with this one over here, because that's way more easy than the other one. Then we have to overwrite this argument. So within our Java approach, we have simply taken those parameters, and then we have called the original method with our modified versions. But this is not possible over here. So over here, we have to do it differently. We need to take the pointer to this argument, and this one over here, and then we need to override it. So this means we are taking args3, which is our integer value of round, and then we can try to assign a new value. Let's say 2. This might not work, but we will later see how this works. Okay, so let's see what Frida is printing out. Okay, let's restart it. We insert it and we hit the decrypt button. Yes, we expected a pointer, and this makes absolute sense. So if we go back, then we can see this one over here. This is a pointer to argument 4 right now. And we are overwriting this pointer with a static value, and this makes absolutely no sense. So what do we need to provide over here is a pointer to this value 2. And this sounds now absolutely complex, but it isn't. Frida is absolutely amazing, and also the author thought about this problem. So it might be way too complex to create a new pointer and assign it over here. Therefore, the author has mentioned this and provided a function for us, which is doing the whole job. Nice, isn't it? Nice. So we can find this information within the official documentation. Therefore, let's have a look into this one. So over here we're having the official documentation of reader.re, and within docs, JavaScript API, we can look for the function ptr. Okay, this one is memory protect. I guess here we are in some iOS stuff. Let's see. Yes. Oh, exactly, nice. We already used it within our java.cast approach. Okay. So this function provides a pointer regarding to the value we are providing over here. Okay, so let's see. If we are expecting a pointer over here, all we need to do is providing this function pointer, and this will take our value and make a pointer out of this one. Nice. We can close this and let's see if this works. So I copy this. We restart this application. And let's see, I hit crypt. Yes, we can see it seems to work because this one over here is now a different output. Let's see. Okay, so let's provide the value 0 in there. So we go back, we restart this application. And we hit crypt. And there we have it. So we've got our text once again. This means we are not providing this round parameter, or we are providing it, but this time with the value 0. Therefore, we are not scrambling our text. Amazing. So this is how we can hook or modify an integer value. Nice, isn't it? Absolutely. Let's have a look in this string. This one over here. Not this one, sorry. This one. Okay, so let's see how we can hook this string. This is unfortunately a little bit more complex, but I will show you an approach, and most of the time this approach should work. We should also keep in mind that we are hooking an NDK function, so a function that has an interface to our Java world, and this is very important. So let's see. This is our integer value round, and now args2 equals pointer, and I mean we could try something like this. And let's see if this one works. So we copy this, we exit out, and let's see. No, expected a pointer. So we are providing a pointer over here, right? Yes, but it's unfortunately not working in this way. For integer values or things like this, yes, but not regarding to strings. Okay, so if you want to modify the string in args2, then this approach doesn't work. So we cannot simply use a text and make a pointer out of this one. We have to create a new string, but not a Java string. So a Java string also doesn't work over here. The string we have to create is an UTF string. And we can do this with the Java environment. So if we go back to our Frida terminal, where do we have it? And this one over here, let's restart this application. Okay, so we have something that is called Java VM, and this one, and this has a method getEnvironment. And this method has a lot of useful functions. We can find this over here in the Frida source code. So within the Frida Java bridge, we can now see all this function that we are having in here. And one of them is new string UTF. And so this creates a new UTF string, and this can be assigned to our arguments. I mean, we have to know this. There's not something that we can make a conclusion out of this one over here. We have to simply know this fact. Alrighty? Okay, now we know this and now we can use this. So maybe let's go back over here. I guess, is it also mentioned in the documentation? No, unfortunately not. But maybe the get env, yeah. So here we can see object with the following methods and gets a wrapper for the current threads, JNI environment. So our JNI environment, this is our first parameter, and this one has a pointer to all these functions. And one of them is new string UTF, which can be used to create a new UTF string, which is compatible to this one over here, to this argument. This one. Okay, as already mentioned, this is simply just something we have to know. Alrighty? Okay. So let's see. If you want to create a new string, we can now use If you want to create a new string, we can now use java.vm, then get env. Let's see, I guess this E is capital. Yes, so the E is capital. And then we can access this function. We have an overview about all these functions over here, so within the Frida-Java bridge, and one of them is new string UTF. So new string UTF, and we're providing here now a new string. Overwriting the argument. Okay. Let's see if this works. So let's copy this. We close this one over here, we restart it. And let's also keep this in foreground. Nice. We do not have an error right now, but maybe we get one if we hit the decrypt button. So let's see. We are hitting this in 3, 2, 1. Nice. Overriding the argument. So it works. Perfect. We can see over here, this is our argument we have provided. And over here, we still got our text. So this one enters our function, but we are overriding it over here. Amazing. So it works. Nice. This is how we can modify NDK functions regarding to strings and integer values. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look into the return value, if this also works there. We go back. Okay, so if we are copying this one over here, let's see. Red is equals this one. Yes, let's rewrite it maybe. Overwriting the return value. All right, let's see if this one works. So we copy this. And then we restart this application. We paste it in and we hit crypt, overriding the argument. It seems like the return value has not been replaced. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we also got the solution for this one. So if we go back into the documentation, all right, and if we are looking for .replace, then let's see. Yes, so here we can see within the onLeave callback function, one argument that is the native pointer containing the raw return value. You may call redval replace to replace the return value with the integer. All right. So therefore, we need to use this function over here, this replace function on our redval. We can also find this in the documentation over here, and we can see that's not the case for our onEnter. It's only within the return value. Therefore, as mentioned many times right now, this documentation is a treasure. Have a look into this one and yeah, read through this. Alrighty? Okay, and so let's go back. And this doesn't work, but this one over here, okay, this looks very, very sloppy, dirty, ugly, however you would call this. Nevertheless, let's do this. So, okay, we are restarting this application. We are inserting this one and we hit the decrypt button. Let's see, in 3, 2, 1. There we have it. Amazing. So this is how we can modify the return value. Nice. It looks complex. So if we go back, we have to mention a lot of things. This one over here can be simply overwritten with an equal sign, so assigning a new value. This one over here needs to be replaced with this replace function. I'm sorry for this, but I really do not like this. So return value is equals, let's pull this out. Okay, that's way better. So this one needs to be replaced with this replace function, but the approach is the same. We get our environment pointer over here. We're using the new string UTF function to make a string that's compatible to this one over here, this return or this argument, and then we can play around with this one. Okay, regarding to the script, I have attached some comments that it's way easier to follow. And this is how we can hook and modify NDK functions. So if you want to modify an argument regarding to a string, we have to use the environment pointer to fetch a function, for example, this new string UTF function, which can create a string that's compatible to our argument. The same for the return value, but there we have to use or call the replace method. So this is something we simply just need to know. I mean, there's no way around this. We cannot make a conclusion out of this one to get to this point. Alrighty? Okay. So this is all for this video right now. In the next video, we will have a look in a plain C++ function. So we are not having access to those parameters and return value. And still we will be able to figure out how to hook certain methods in there. Alrighty? Okay, so I'm really looking forward to see you there.